Hello everyone. As you can tell, I am playing a game called Lily's Well. I first saw this game on Pinterest several months ago. I saw a pin of some of the art from this game and I thought it looked cool, so I saved it, and then I forgot about it for a while. I later looked up what game the art was from, and I found out that it was a free RPGMaker game, named Lily's Well. I have already played through this game. This is not a blind playthrough. So why am I recording it again? I'm recording it because this is one of the most impactful short indie games I have ever played. It is one of my favorite indie games of all time, so I wanted to record a video of it even if I played it before. This is going to be a playthrough where I get every achievement and ending, and hopefully the important secrets as well. I originally played this on itch.io, but I'm currently on the Steam version, so I don't have any of the achievements unlocked at the start of this video. You may wonder then why there is a resume button. That's because I'm actually re-recording this intro after I already recorded the video because I didn't like my original intro. You will shortly see that resume button disappear as the video cuts back to the end of my original intro. Fun fact, this is actually the third intro I've recorded because the previous one before this, that was supposed to be the original redo, the recording crashed. So yeah, I actually wrote a script out for this intro this time, so if it sounded devoid of life, that's why. Trust me, the rest of the video is not like that, except for maybe the conclusion, which I have yet to write out. With that being said, let's get started. It is a cold, rainy day in the Tabachi household. You are Lily. Lily is a young, innocent girl, 9 years of age. You live in a modest home with your papa. On this cold and rainy day, you are knitting on the couch while Papa packs his things. Tonight he needs to go to work in order to teach a night class. As Lily is a good child, Papa trusts you to stay safe while he is gone. Before he leaves, Papa makes hot dogs and the boxed mac and cheese. He helps you pour the cheese sauce on your hot dog in order to make it taste better. I hate hot dogs. I think they're disgusting. You enjoy your meal together, ignorant of future events. Papa puts you to bed with the sounds of rain lulling you to sleep. Sorry if my commentary on hot dogs kind of threw you out of it. I should be, serious as I'm reading this intro, but I'm not. ... Help. Someone. Help. You awaken to the sound of a voice. Lily. The voice seems to come from outside. You look out your bedside window. Nobody. There's nobody among the rain and darkness. You're all alone. I'm used to being alone. In the darkness. I'm emo. Was it a dream? You open your window a crack to listen closer. Please, it hurts. Help. The well. Someone is in the well. The rope normally hanging from it has vanished. You are a good girl, so you get out of bed to go help. Read instructions? I'll read them even though I already know. Controls! Use the arrow keys to move her around. She can also move by clicking on the desired location. Objects can be interacted with by pressing the Z or space key in front of it. This can be done by clicking or tapping on the object. The game auto-saves. To speed up text, hold the W key. Certain objects and structures require the usage of other items in order to progress. To use an item, open up the menu screen with the Escape or X key. You can also access acquired items directly from the Examine menu. On the menu screen, select the Stuff option to access collected items. By selecting on an item and using it on Lily, she will use it. Lily must be right in front of the item's target in order to use it. Some items have multiple places they can be used, so don't be afraid to get creative. You can use them in a different way as well. There's an alternate method added in a later update that's much easier than that, I think. Item types. There are 4 different types of items: stuff, ropes, keys, and files. Stuff makes up normal items that can be used to interact with objects outside of the menu. These often have more than one use, so it's recommended to play around with them if stuck. Ropes are the main goal to work toward. These items are what Lily needs to climb down the well. The more obtained, the further down she can get. It is important to note that not all ropes are good materials. Once a rope is collected, it cannot be put back until Lily climbs down the well, but you can put it in the trash. Keys are keys. What did you think they would be? They open up certain doors and can be used infinitely in any playthrough. Domain expansion, infinite keys. Finally, files are notes, letters, books. They're really anything that can be read, just like these instructions. Even if not directly taken, any file read during a playthrough can be reread from the file section for ease of access. The well. After collecting at least one piece of rope material, Lily can climb down into the well. The material quality and length affect the overall result of the descent. I hit Z, but hopefully you read that. Note, once Lily goes down the well, there is no going back until you start a new game. In which case you go back to the start, obviously. Here we are. This is us. This is Lily. Yeah. It's your bed. Look. You're all messed up from your sudden awakening. This is Sniffle Bear, or Sniffles for short. Sniffles was a gift from Auntie Mifuyu for your first birthday. He's kind of stinky, but a good stinky. Attic stinky. Lamp. This is what's keeping your room bright right now. You can see the outfits are locked. We'll unlock them very soon. Your knitting basket gives you comfort despite the stormy weather. You only have one large ball of yarn left. Now, I know you're probably thinking, could that be a rope? And the answer is yes, but I'm going to interact with things first. I have a certain order I'm going to go about this, and it's probably going to be a weird order that you wouldn't normally see people do if they were playing for the first time. But if you came here for normal, you came to the wrong place. I'm so quirky and unique. The trash can. It's empty. The dusty old bathroom scale. It says that it just doesn't work because it needs batteries, but its age implies he's in denial. It's one of those things that should probably just be thrown out at this point. It's your hairbrush, still wet from the after-bath brushing. There's still wet hair in the brush. You're fine with normal hair, but there's something about clumps of wet hair that grosses you out. Pretty normal. What happens if I check the status? Okay, nothing. Yeah, that's for checking if there's rope material. You already checked the status of this, basically, when you were, looking at it. Here's the toothbrush cup, just your brushes in it. Normally both you and Papa keep your brushes in the same cup, but he takes his with him if he works in night class. It's funny to imagine him trying to brush while driving. This is the bathroom sink, preventer of disease spread and assistant to teeth cleaning. The sink is clean with a mirror hanging right above it. Are you bored of me interacting with all these things yet? Hey, I feel like I kind of have to. Oh. Okay, I can't interact with whatever's there. Behold the toilet. The bowl has always been a hard-working part of the household. Even after that time you made potions in it, causing laundry soap bubbles and to completely fill the bathroom. It also never clogged, even when you put one end of a yarn ball down it and watched the entire ball disappear into the water. Truly the most sacred appliance to be created. That's mischievous. The shower is still wet from your earlier bath. The bath has many water-safe dolls sitting on the edge. Can the curtain be interacted with? No, it's still the same thing. Part of this I know, because I've played it before, and part of it I don't know, either because I don't remember I didn't interact with the first time. There's also some toilet paper. To save money, this toilet paper is single ply. This is also known as the worst type of toilet paper. Stuff in here. There's a safe with a keypad on it. It seems to have space for 6 numbers. I'm not going to open it because I wouldn't know. I would not know the combination to the safe, guys. I don't know that. I'm new here. This drawer has some of Papa's clothes, mostly filled with socks and belts. They're all folded to perfection. This drawer has some of Papa's clothes. It's filled with underwear. We're not going to take that. It's a big old hourglass. You've always liked how hourglasses looked, but you can't flip this one by yourself. Sometimes Papa will flip this one for you when you ask, but even he seems to struggle with its weight. It's probably more of a decoration than anything that can be of actual practical use. Normally I cut it out when I stutter. I'm talking about the footage. Normally I cut the footage when I stutter and I, re-record it again. But I think this time maybe I'll let a few stutters stay in the recording, just so you know I'm actually a human being. And a very awkward one. Let's interact with the bed. Papa's bed. This bed has always remained tidy as far as you can remember. You aren't even sure if you've seen Papa sleep in it. Let's dash. Look at this, we're dashing now. Woo! Call the phone number? You know what we gotta try. Papa says that's a big no-no number. You know what? Let me check another. 2, 1, 1. No, I don't want any more digits. You hang up before anyone can pick up. Smart, I guess. Papa said you should never call numbers you don't know. I was trying to call 211, because if you call 211 and Cry of Fear, you get the same result as 911. But this game does not take place in the location that Cry of Fear does, so obviously that wouldn't work. But I just wanted to anyway, alright? But now we're gonna get serious, alright? Now we're gonna do something significant, alright? This is gonna be our first achievement. Ignore that my mouse just went on the screen there for a second. You didn't see that. We're gonna go. 802 4. Why did I go down from 9 instead of up to 4? Don't know. 426 2 3 1 3. The call went through. Hello? Who is this? Hello? Papa says I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Huh? Then why'd you call? Do you know what time it is? I don't know. Alright? Who gave you my number? I don't know. Look, kid, just go to bed. Don't call me again. But wait. She hung up. And that is the first achievement. Unknown caller. Call a phone number Lily shouldn't know. Who was that? You'll just have to wait and find out. The couch sits with nobody to sit on it. There's a stain on the couch from that time you somehow choked on grape juice. There's stuff behind this. Right? I mean, look at that. There's stuff behind here. Oh, I already went through that. But yeah, you can see that there's a take option here. Potentially take some things. You see those things down there? But be patient. I'm kind of just interacting with everything before we get started on all the cool stuff. Alright, trust me, there will be cool stuff. By cool stuff, I mean the ropes and, like, progressing. You gotta enjoy the experience, alright? You gotta, look at everything. Or you can just skip ahead, be like, this dude's annoying. He talks too much. I'm clicking off the video. I'm leaving a hate comment. I would completely understand. I completely understand. Anyway, let's look at the television. A collection of VHS tapes can be found in the cabinets under the TV. Some notable ones include Scareplane and The Ratacombs. I want to watch The Ratacombs. What about these? It's a book on the local plant life in your area. Read it? Yes. We're going to read everything. You know we're going to read everything, even if some of it isn't relevant to the game. You know we're reading all of it. Greetings and thank you for picking up my guide for the special flora located in Bethany's Mirror, Vermont. I am Magnus Bergamot, a resident of the Bethany's Mirror area since childhood. I have spent my years studying the various unique plants that only grow in this pocket of the world. Many of these plants take on unique and unexpected roles in their ecosystems, as well as provide plenty of uses for local foragers. Like with any plant or fungal life, it is important to properly identify anything you are foraging. Failure to do so can lead to extreme injury or death. It is additionally important to not violate anyone's personal territory while foraging. An angry resident of Bethany's Mirror is far worse than any moose. With all of that out of the way, let's take a look at the most common specimens you will find in this area. Trees. I like trees. The majority of the trees found in Bethany's Mirror are the same as those in the surrounding areas. Plenty of oak, maple, and pine to go around. The most common of the area's more unusual trees is the nymph mimic. It will appear as a normal birch tree, but with a female humanoid figure jutting out of the trunk. Despite appearances, this isn't an actual nymph, but a soulless tree. These trees seem to form from the souls of women who get lost in the woods or have their corpses dumped in the woods after being killed. Their souls leave an imprint of sorts on a tree in Bethany's mirror, causing it to swell with the body's shape. The sap from these protrusions can be harvested and made into nymph syrup. Keep reading? Yes. Another commonly seen tree that's exclusive to this area is the tomb tree. While harmless toward humanoids in most cases, this tree can pose a risk to small children and pets. The tomb tree appears as a dead and hollow oak tree, usually in the center of a clearing. While most small animals that come across it may be interested in making a home out of the tree's many tunnels, this is actually a trap. Thanks to the tomb tree's lack of leaves, it instead gains nutrients by digesting the animals that get stuck in the tar-like sap it secretes inside its tunnels. The death of these animals is slow and full of suffering. Instead of dying of their flesh being digested, they often die of dehydration or starvation first. Dehydration would come first, I imagine, unless there's water in there. If something or someone you care about gets stuck in this tree's sap, common store-bought dish soap is enough to disconnect skin from the soap, or from the sap. Reminds me of those Dawn dish soap commercials. Do y'all remember these commercials where it was Dawn dish soap and they would show like ducks, baby ducklings covered in oil, and then they'd show someone like washing the ducklings with like Dawn dish soap or something like that, and be like, they're all good now. Do y'all remember those ads? Anyway, let's read about vines. Spoiler alert, this part's gonna be relevant. The vine plants of Bethany's Mirror can be some of the most dangerous and the most useful for foragers. When looking for foraged materials, the most dangerous vine to stay away from is the overcast vamp vine. This vine can be identified by its bright purple suction cup-like leaves that only open on rainy or overcast nights. Touching these leaves will cause the vine to grab its new prey and attach as many suction cups as possible to the victim's skin. It will then use these suction cups to rip the victim's skin open and suck out all of their blood until they're bone dry. Keep reading? Yes. Another vine that can be dangerous is the womb ripper. Despite its name, it doesn't actually rip out wombs, but its danger still cannot be underestimated. The womb ripper is only dangerous for those who eat the bright red berries off of its vines. Touching or squashing the berries appears to be harmless. After being consumed, the berries will latch onto the inner linings of its new host's stomach and intestines. Like a tapeworm, the seeds inside the berries will steal nutrients from the host before eventually sprouting. Sensing the sun outside of the body, the new plants will violently burst out of the host's organs, likely leaving the host to bleed out and the new vines to grow on the nearest tree or other large object. The body will be used by the womb ripper as extra food throughout its life. Luckily, the womb ripper vine becomes very brittle shortly after separating it from its root. Did I say root? I don't remember. This makes it easy to incinerate. Keep reading? Hell yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. One vine that is both dangerous and useful for foragers is known as the orderly's punishment. Often found in shady areas along tall trees, orderly's punishment can be easily identified by the blue thorns growing along it. I thought I just heard something. I'm playing at night, by the way, so I'm naturally a little spooked. Even though I've played this game before, I'm spooked because it's nighttime in real life. Sorry for getting distracted. Let me get back to reading. Take extra care to not get pricked by these thorns, as they will inject an intense hallucinogen that will last around 12 hours on average. They will additionally cause an intense itchy sensation on the victim's inner organs. By removing these thorns, though, this vine can be used as a very helpful building material. It is capable of holding an average of 460 pounds of weight, even after being dried out. You can use this as a rope, Lily. Keep reading this section, yes. For those suffering from joint pains, you may want to look for the flower of Icarus. This yellow flowering vine grows swiftly in the rain and thrives in deep wooded areas. By licking the pollen off the flowers once a day, humanoid joints will begin to repair themselves. It is, however, very important to not take the vine itself or pick the flowers. After being removed from where it's originally planted its roots, the plant will quickly start growing microfractures, causing it to be easily destroyed after little amounts of pressure. I'm aware that I said it's instead of it. in that previous sentence. I'm only human. Okay, one more. One more, alright? We can make it through it. I mean, I'm enjoying reading this. Even though I've read it before, I'm enjoying reading this, but I don't know if you are. I hope you are. I hope you love reading as much as I do. I hope you enjoy, you know, sitting in public, drinking matcha, and reading a book as much as I do. I do that. And I look nonchalant as well. Going around Bethany's mirror, there are plenty of root vegetables that can be found only here. This is due to the area's creation and the impact the outside has on it. The dwarf mandragora can be found by paved roads near the area's border. Despite its name, it is not in the mandragora genus, rather the Daucus genus. They appear as inch-wide clusters of white flowers that grow at the side of the road. Picking them will reveal a purple root vegetable in the shape of a human body. These vegetables range from 3 to 5 inches tall. They can cause mild stomach discomfort if eaten raw, but boiling them kills the toxin that causes this. Dwarf mandragora is best served with melted cheese and beef. The rest of this section's pages seem to have been cut out with the scissors in order to keep the recipes. We are done. So that's the first major indication that we're in, you know, a bit of a fantasy world. You know, there's crazy shit out in the forest. Sorry for swearing, but there's some crazy stuff out there, man. And also, you know, you might be able to infer that just by the way Lily looks. You know, she has bright pink hair, and I mean, that's not, you know, unique to fantasy things. People can have pink hair in real life, but it's less common. But, you know, she could have just dyed her hair pink, you know. That's normal. But, you know, all this crazy stuff in the bookcase, that is not. These are the doors to the pantry. A padlock keeps the door shut. This is a place only Papa is allowed to go in. We're gonna go in. We're gonna go in. But you just gotta be patient, okay? You gotta be patient. Can't interact with the table. What about the stove? It's the stove. It also has an oven. Papa always told you to never use the stove by yourself. He also made you watch a VHS tape about how fires start and how they can destroy entire homes. He's such a good parent. The kitchen sink. Uncheesed macaroni noodles are in the drain. That's not good. This is the keyboard. Keyboard? That's like what I'm using to play this game right now. It's where Papa hangs the keys. Next to the board is a note from one of Papa's friends. You can't really read it from down here. The fridge towers above you. Your drawings cover the fridge. I wonder if there's something we could use to like get that, you know, like something. Climb on? Yes. Let's read the note from Vic. It's a letter addressed to Papa. Read it? Dear Tony, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to you from Mother's home, as she required extra help regarding the pig farm. She is personally doing well and has asked about you and Lily. Mother is especially curious about your progress on the research project. When Mother heard that you were pursuing her specialty, she was delighted to see how you would do. Please write to her, and possibly send samples. I only expect to stay on the farm for the next year or so before returning to Maine. With your permission, I'd like to visit your home on the way. Thank you for your time, Vic. Shed. This is the key to the shed. We haven't even seen the shed yet, but I'm taking it. So that's everything that you can interact with in here, I believe. It's finally time to go outside. This is the turtle pond. It's too dark to see below the surface of the water, but you can see a couple turtle shells around the pond. Papa always told you to not touch the turtles because they can bite off your fingers and toes. That's true. It is a lamp. Moths and other bugs love lamps. This is a true fact that can be tested at home. Unfortunately, there are no moths because of the rain. I love the music in this game. Another lamp. Your tire swing hangs empty and alone. There's a small puddle inside the swing from the rain. You remember that mosquitoes can lay their eggs in stagnant water, so you don't want to touch it. And I know you're probably thinking, dude, that can be used as a rope. There's a rope right there. Grab it. Be patient, okay? I have an order that I'm gonna do things. And it's probably a really annoying order, but I have an order. There's a vine growing along the tree. The vine is covered in blue, sharp thorns that point toward the ground. It has a chokehold on the tree. Do you remember that? Do you remember these vines? We read about these vines. There's a vine growing along the tree. The vine is covered in small yellow flowers. They smell incredibly sweet, but eating them probably isn't a good idea. There's a vine growing along the tree. You really don't want to eat the stuff from this one. The vine is covered in large red berries. You've seen birds in the area eating them before. Now, so far, Papa, as Lily calls him, it seems to be a pretty good parent. Like telling her about safety and stuff. My question is, why hasn't he gone at this with I'm not a flamethrower because a flamethrower could start a forest fire, but you know what I mean? Why hasn't he just obliterated this thing? Maybe we'll get an answer. I don't know. It's not like I've played this before. Oh, there's another rock. It's a pretty big rock on the ground. It's a rock. One of the common things to find outdoors. This trash can is ready for pickup. You can put any unwanted rope parts in here after you collect some. Check in the mailbox? Yes. No mail today. Of course not. Of course not! And there's another rock up here. There's 3 rocks. Isn't that crazy? 3 rocks? What is up with that? This is the source of the voice. All that can be heard now is the echoes of raindrops. If you wish to save the person trapped in the well, you will need to construct a rope. And there's a rock in there, too! What is going on with all these rocks? I'll deal with you later. This chain serves as a handrail. I didn't read the rest of that. The chain is a bit rusty from the stream's occasional splashing. There's a memorial for someone in a language you don't understand. The memorial says... I'm not going to say it, because maybe that's a spoiler. On top of the stone is a strangely shaped hole. It's narrow and seems to go down a little over 5 inches. Sprouts are peeking out from the soil. Thanks to the rain, these should be growing into beautiful flowers one day, just like all the flowers around here. Small magenta flowers are growing here. These are asters. Because of how they look, they were named for the Greek word for star. Blue flowers that almost appear to be sad are growing here. They are mountain larkspurs. If you eat it, you will die. Thin-petaled pink flowers are growing here. These are African daisies. They are one of the more hardy flowers out there, but careless gardeners can still kill them. Blue flowers that look like little fairy dresses are growing here. These are lobelia flowers. There is an all-girls school named after this flower. It is also a fictional school. Thick pink flowers are growing here. These are dahlias. Fun fact, the dahlia is the national flower of Mexico. Concerning fact, you have never heard of Mexico. Rough-tipped pink flowers are growing here. These are carnations. Throughout history, these plants have been harvested for their scent and medicinal uses. Low-growing blue flowers are here. These are Veronica Georgia blues. People usually grow them to protect bulbs around them that haven't grown yet. Pale blue flowers are growing here. These are morning glories. They bloom for only one day before dying. I like morning glories. Large pink flowers are growing here. These are peony flowers. If you were colorblind, you may have mistaken these for marigolds. Actually, they look pretty different, even without looking at the colors. Small pink spiked flowers are growing here. These are lupine flowers. If someone is allergic to peanuts, they're probably allergic to these flowers too. Blue bell-shaped flowers are growing here. These are gentian flowers. You once saw a hummingbird drink from these. You ran to tell Papa, but by the time you came back, it was gone. Rounded pink flowers are growing here. These are zinnia flowers. Despite how they look, they are related to sunflowers. Sunflowers are your favorite. Pale pink flowers are growing here. These are petunia flowers. They are originally from South America, but most seen today are results from crossbreeding. Fresh-smelling indigo flowers are growing here. These are salvia flowers. Most know that this plant is wild sage, making it good for drying. Vivid bluish-purple flowers are growing here. These are delphinium flowers. Although these plants thrive in the sun, they are planted next to the shed to prevent overheating. Large clusters of bright pink flowers are growing here. These are, well, the scientific name for the genus is Celosia. They, were named after the fact that they look like a rooster's crest. Why didn't they call it a rooster's crest, then? Pink flowers with spiky centers are growing here. These are cone flowers. Their plant genus was named after the fact that their centers look like sea urchins. Blue spiky flowers are growing here. These are globe thistles. Out of all the flowers in the garden, these seem to be the most loved by the bees. Strangely shaped blue flowers are growing here. These are monkshood flowers. If you even touch it, you'd probably die. Vertical bushels of bright pink flowers are growing here. These are hyacinths. Even though they sometimes just appear on their own, Papa grows them here. Many tiny pale pink flowers are growing here. These are forget-me-nots. While the name sounds sweet, it also sounds really sad. I agree, it does sound really sad. Maybe it's just the idea of having to ask someone to not forget them. That name does make me sad. You saw these, right? A large pair of garden shears are buried in the ground. These shears are usually used for trimming vines and trees that overstay their welcome. I'll take it. Children and large shears usually don't mix. We're gonna take it anyway. I don't know if I'll use it, but, you know. The music is gone. There's a spare extension cord on the floor. Even in a storage shed, having a wire out like this is a clear OSHA violation. Does it matter? I don't think we're in a workplace, right? It's a bag of mulch, used for gardening. A pair of bolt cutters are hanging on the wall. You don't remember seeing Papa use these much. An old and broken weed whacker is left to rust in the corner. This broke a while ago after Papa dropped this in the river. It's really nothing more than dead weight. Yeah, I realize I haven't been doing the take prompt on things that aren't takeable. Or on anything, really. Too smelly. A pair of bolt cutters are hanging on the wall. You don't remember seeing Papa use these much. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it. I don't know if I'll use it, though. And the extension cord, we totally could take that and use that as a rope, right? But I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm running. I'm running in the forest. There's one thing I want to do. Well, there's obviously a lot of things I want to do, but hold on. We're going to use the bolt cutters. You really aren't allowed in the pantry. Break the lock anyway? Yes. Papa can probably get a new one. No music. What's this pink stuff on the ground? A variety of canned foods are stacked on the pantry shelves. Look, there are cans containing beets, carrots, and snakes. The snake's can is a gag gift. You can't take these, but I'm going to do the take prompt anyway. I'm sorry for not using the tank. I'm sorry for not doing the take prompt on earlier things. I should be doing that. Papa never taught you how to use a can opener, so you don't take the cans. It's a large sealed bag of beef jerky. The bag is very full, but Papa always tells you that jerky is expensive. We're going to take it. This may be a good treat while outside. Take a piece of jerky? Yes. Can you even eat it? You aren't hungry right now. But I think there's someone who will eat it. I think there is. I think there is. I think there isn't. I think there isn't. There isn't. I lied. I lied. Anyway. So, I said I'd deal with this later. Look at that. Now, it looked like there was a rock there, but now I don't see one. The stream flows quickly from the rain. While the water only goes up to your knees, it could easily drag you under. Would you like to try and wade through to search anyway? I am so sorry, Lily. But I need 100% achievements. I need to do it. Soon after your feet enter the water, the stream's flow knocks you off balance. You land on your side, but the sheer strength of the water prevents you from getting up. As you keep struggling to stand up, you are carried away further and further away from your home. Those who say that drowning is the most peaceful way to die have clearly never experienced it. Your body won't be recovered until long after Papa comes home. Dead end. Alt End 4. Postmodern Ophelia. And I got the Liquid Heaven achievement. Tip: if you're having a really hard time with a puzzle and are ready to pull your hair out, check to see if anyone made a walkthrough online, lol. Like this one. I don't know if this is really a walkthrough, though. This is like, I mean, yes, it's a walkthrough, but it's also like, there's also a lot of unnecessary commentary, right? I'm not just saying, like, here's how you do this, this, and this. Skip the intro? Yes, I already. Oh, I hit no. I really just said, yes, I want to skip the intro, and then I went down to no and hit no. So that was probably one of the rare endings you could get because of how easy it is to avoid, just don't go into the river, but I needed that achievement, alright? I needed it. Now, maybe that unlocks something. Yes, it does. Sailor. Would you like to wear the sailor costume? Info. It's pretty strange how a military uniform could become a children's fashion hit in the 1800s. A shame you didn't have an oversized lollipop to complete the look. Unlocked by getting alt ending, postmodern Ophelia, because Ophelia drowned. So I'll put that on so you can see what that looks like. Here's what it looks like. There she is. And I guess I'll keep this outfit on until we unlock another, which will be very soon. So yeah, now now we're back, and we're gonna not do that. We're gonna not do that this time. Now that Lily's a sailor, that means when we try to do this again, she'll be fine. No, I'm kidding. She'll die again. I actually didn't test it. Maybe she would survive. I'm not gonna test it though. I remember what I want to do. That's interesting. Anyway. So you remember seeing this big-ass rock here? Let's take the rock. The weight of the rock slows your movement. Yeah, I can tell. We're gonna take that huge rock. You can probably guess what we're gonna do with it, maybe. We're gonna avoid drowning like that ever again. If you put the rock in the water, it might help make a path across. Place the rock? Yes. Okay, but we still need more. Look at that. And just like that, I put 3 rocks in the water. I don't know if I'm going to include the footage of me grabbing the rocks and walking over here 3 times, but you saw the 3 rocks, and I probably showed what it was like to put at least one of them in the water. So yeah, there's 3 rocks in the water now. We can go in here. And it's dead quiet. A net protects a group of small underwater plants. The net is made of thick fishing wire. The net is held down by spikes. Pulling at it causes small cuts to form in your damp palms. That's not cool. It's some kind of alchemic model. You can't really make heads or tails of it, but you'd probably be disappointed to know it actually represents the components of olive oil. It's out of your reach. The cave smells like a bad version of attic smell. It looks like this cave was used for more in the past. More was likely here at one point, but they've been long since removed. Can I take the cave? Mushrooms are usually fun to collect, but these ones smell too much. There's a knife with a strange blade hanging on the wall. The knife has a wavy blade and an oily liquid on it. Nah, I'm not taking it. You gotta wait till later in the video for me to take that. There's a worn birthday card. Read it? The front of the card has a picture of a black rabbit holding a flower. It reads, "Happy 1 year of being here." On the inside is a picture of even more black rabbits holding flowers. It reads, "Happy 1st birthday, Lily, June 20th, 1985. You've grown so much in just a year. Never forget that you are surrounded by people who love you. With love, Auntie Mafuyu." I'm gonna leave this place. There's no music. It's scary. I've decided what I'm gonna do next. There are 2 achievements that I'm gonna get at the same time, hopefully. One of them is for using a bad piece of rope, and the other is for using a rope composed entirely of the bad pieces of rope, all the negative components you could have. So we're gonna go in that well with the worst rope possible. I'm doing everything except, creating an actual rope and, getting the regular endings. I will admit that. While you can't take the couch, you can see if you can take something from underneath it. Look to see if there's anything good to take? Yes. In your search, you find an old charger for something you can't remember. It's very old with the wire being exposed in some places, but it is long enough to be used as a possible rope. Take the charger? Yeah! Your knitting basket gives you comfort despite the stormy weather. Take. With how big the yarn ball is, it probably could be unraveled into a long rope. Take the ball of yarn as a rope? Yes. And we're not even going to knit the yarn, we're just going to let it be, just the string. Just the string itself. We need that single-ply toilet paper. Toilet paper could probably be used as a rope if it's twisted tight enough. Yeah, it's not like it's designed to break or anything. Let's take that. Now, if you remember what that book said, it said the blue one is good and can be used as a rope, but the others aren't. That's basically what it said. So we're going to take it. The vine is tightly tangled within the tree bark. It's probably better to cut it down. Yeah, and you know what? I got exactly the item for that. Shears. You all saw me grab the shears in this playthrough. You all saw me do that. Let's take it. Yes. We're going to take this red one. Pushing many berries in the process. And I didn't read the special text for that one, but, whatever. Anyway, what do we got? We have toilet paper. Toilet paper from the bathroom. Maybe it can be used as a rope? Yellow flowering vine. This vine has flowers growing on it. Possible rope. This vine has big red berries growing on it. Possible rope. Stray charger. An old charger that you don't know what it's for. Ball of yarn. It's a large ball of yarn used for knitting. This is everything. These are the 5 ropes. We are going to make the best rope imaginable. You know why it's the best rope? Because it gives you 2 achievements at once. This is the source of the voice. All that can be heard now is the echoes of raindrops. If you wish to save the person trapped in the well, you'll need to construct a rope. The well leads into inky darkness. You currently hold 5 pieces of possible rope. Tie them together and begin descent? Yes. Let's go. Uh-oh. Your rope is creaking. Something is very wrong. She was falling that whole time. Do you think she's still alive? ... As you fell, You were lucky to land head first, killing you instantly. Your body lays in a contorted and unnatural state as it waits for the maggots to settle in. As you can see, I got the worst possible job and poor construction. Alt End 1, bad craftsmanship. Tip, important information found in files can be reviewed anytime in the Stuff menu. Thanks, game. I'm going to actually skip the intro this time. And that one doesn't give you any new outfits. It's just, you suck at building rope, so you died, and there's nothing, you don't even get anything special from it. But just want to show a quick quality of life thing. The rocks aren't here anymore. They're still here. You can still, walk across those rocks. You don't gotta carry them. Wait a minute. I just found a bug. I found a bug in the game. If you open up the menu while you're up here, you see Lily's regular outfit. But in fact, I am not wearing Lily's regular outfit. This game is unplayable. Oh, and by the way, nothing in the drawers can help you in this specific closet. But anyway, I'm gonna switch back to the default. Oh. Do you hear that breathing? I think that's breathing. Okay, I think I've let you hear that for long enough. I'm gonna stay in case that loops again. I want to see if it's a loop or if there's more to that. I was not aware of that. I had never stayed in this scene long enough to notice that. I'm glad I stayed here to let y'all listen to that, because that's the first time I hear that. See, I still learn new things sometimes. Okay, it is a loop. So let's go. Okay, cool, cool game. Thank you, game. Very cool. Anyway, I am going to actually craft a good rope, but it's gonna be a short one. We're gonna take the yarn. Yes, we are. And we are going to take this stuff. Well, you can't take the couch. You can see there's something underneath it. Yes. You find knitting needles. Take them? Yes. You can probably knit the yarn you have into a stronger rope. Knit the ball of yarn into a knitted rope? Yes. You now have the knitted rope. And we are going to go into that well, and we are going to save that person with just that tiny little bit of rope. We're not getting down that well, okay? We're not getting all the way down. All right, we have one piece of rope. All right. This well is deep. You can tell because of, how long it took for Lily to hit the ground in that other ending. Let's descend. The rope has come to an end. The way down seems endless. No voices can be heard. Just the sound of your own breathing. And what is that sound? It sounds like... Oh, shit. That's what that face means. And there she falls. But you get to see it more graphically this time. Don't look up. Create a successful rope with only one material. And it looks like we're getting digits to a phone number. So I guess I'll have to keep track of that. The average water temperature of Lake Champlain in spring is 39.2 degrees Fahrenheit. 4 Celsius for those in other countries. Degrees Celsius, I mean. And of course I was joking when I said I was going to keep track of the numbers. I already know the numbers. Anyway, that was that. Oh, look! Look, we have a friend! There's something watching you from the darkness. Look. ... Take. Nothing to take. Alright. You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do, right? I hope you know. I hope you know what we're gonna do. Oh, look, there's a flower here. A singular flower is growing here. Looking this makes your legs ache for some reason. You don't really want to be around this plant for some reason. Now, when I played this on itch.io, this flower was already here before I even, like, went down the well once. It was kind of confusing. Also, I will say, once I've done something once, I'm probably going to skip it most of the time. So, like, right now I'm going to go get the bolt cutters and use the bolt cutters to open up the pantry and then take some beef jerky. You've seen me do that before, so I'm not going to, you know, include that whole scene of me doing that, since you've already seen it. Here you go. Maybe the thing watching you is hungry. Toss the jerky into the woods. You throw the jerky as far as you can. The watching eyes disappear. Whatever was there is no longer there. We're nice. Now, it seems like it took one, like, real rope ending, not like a, you know, messed up rope ending, but, like, you know, actually, like, taking a good piece of rope into the well. It took that to get those eyes to appear. So maybe now I can go here and do this. Now's not the time to be playing in the road. Listen, when I did this on itch.io, I got this in, like, probably less than 5 attempts. Alright, guys. Alright, so, I actually... I wonder if this is different between the itch... Okay, there we go. Got it. So I had to walk up. I couldn't just keep walking down. Dead end. Alt N2. Vehicular manslaughter. Even though I knew that was coming at some point, it still kind of spooked me a tiny bit. Especially with the sound effect. Tip. Some dead ends have different conclusions depending on Lily's actions, despite the ending remaining the same. And now, you will see... Frog. Would you like to wear the frog raincoat? Yes. I kind of spoiled it. I wanted to show the pixel art first, but here's the pixel art of the frog raincoat. And there you've seen it. Look how happy she is. It's like she has no clue that she's been, you know, just subjected to a lot of terrible things by me in the past because I am trying to get all the achievements. I'm sorry, Lily, but like I gotta 100% this. Also, I don't know if I really acknowledged that ending we got where we used one rope. Somebody cut the dang rope. Who was that? We don't really have much to go off of. It's just, you know, really scary and sinister. But, you know, there was already some scary and sinister stuff in this game. You knew that already from these books talking about these crazy things and, you know, the horrible deaths we've encountered before that. So now what I'll do is I'll just keep adding on. So I used the knitted yarn for one piece of rope. Now I'm going to take that yarn, I'm going to knit it, and then I'm going to add another piece of rope to that. We're going to keep doing it until we get down to the bottom of that well. But also, I'm going to do a little side quest. There's just, you know, one side quest. Look at these eyes. They're brighter now. There's something watching you from the darkness. They're brighter. So we got to keep adding to that. Oh, and by the way, I didn't need to grab the keys more than once. It's unlocked you know, after you do it once for, you know, quality of life purposes, I would assume. I was just doing that just cuz. Also, you hold shift to dash, like with most RPG Maker games, if not all of them. I'm trying to remember if that was in like the instructions, but I figured I'd mention it just in case it wasn't. We're gonna feed you again. Everything watching you is hungry. Toss the jerky into the woods. Yes. And the eyes disappear. Our next piece of rope will be this. Take. You remember a movie that Papa brought back one weekend where prisoners use sheets to escape from prison? Take the sheets as a rope? Yes. And now we have two. Begin the descent. The rope has come to an end. The way down seems endless. No voices can be heard, just the sound of your own breathing and the rain falling from above. It mixes with your sweat, making your hands uncomfortable. You decide to give up and climb back up. The task is much more difficult than lowering yourself down. The pain in your hands and the moisture in the area create a terrible combination. You lose your grip and fall. Wait for it. So basically the same thing, except this time nobody cut the rope. It was just Lily fell. Butterfingers create a successful rope with only 2 materials. Another digit of the phone number. Tip, the item menu can still be used when looking at areas close up. See up the intro? Hey, I saw Lily there for a second. Look, now there's 2 flowers here. They're kind of hard to see. 2 flowers are growing here together. Look, looking at this makes your palms sweat for some reason. You don't really want to be around this plant for some reason. You can probably guess now that the flowers represent the different endings you've gotten based on the different amount of rope you had. We're gonna feed it again. Of course we are. And now it's gone. The next piece of rope we're gonna get is in here. This drawer is some of Papa's clothes. You remember? It says it's supposed to fill with socks and belts. They're all folded to perfection. We're gonna take those. The belts might be a good rope substitute if tied together. Take Papa's belts as a rope? Yes. In addition to the knitted yarn and the bedsheet, we now have 3. Let's go see what happens if we have 3. Oh, we got it again. Well, I already did this once, so goodbye. Actually, you know what? Let's check to see if we got any mail. It's a letter with a coffee mug stain. Read it? Dear residents of Bethany's Mirror, there was a recent case of multiple outsider vehicles making onto the roads of our community. Investigations have shown that they were not students of our local college, and instead ordinary Vermont residents. The majority of them have been directed to the outside world without issue, but some have fallen prey to our local wildlife. Oh gosh. If you see an unknown vehicle without a mirror charm in their rear view window, please redirect them to the main road. Mirror Council. There it is. I was trying to get that to happen. And yeah, it's just... Oh, it's still there. It looks like they're walking this way. Footsteps. But they were going up, weren't they? I guess, yeah, they were going up. They were going up. But the trail just ends there. Interestingly enough. Anyway, that I've shown that, we're gonna go down the well. I can go down quicker if I hold shift. The rope has come to an end. The way down seems endless. Ah? The nearby lamp turned on by itself. Such a thing could be helpful right now. You reach over to take the light off its hook. A terrible decision, really. Dying light. Create a successful rope with only 3 materials. 3. Tip. Certain large objects result in different results when interacting with them from different angles. Skip the intro? Yes. Let's check how the eyes are doing. Oh, look at that. There's something watching you from the darkness. Oh, 3 flowers. 3 flowers are growing here together. The flowers seem to be reaching for the lamp near the house. Are they really? Hi. Want food? There you go. The watching eyes disappear. It's like it never even existed. Now the next piece of rope we're gonna get is in here. There's a safe with a keypad on it. It seems to have space for 6 numbers. Try to open the safe. Now, do you remember Lily's birthday? July 20th. Her first birthday was July 20th, 1985. So her actual birth date would be July 20th of 84. Oh, that seems to be the right password. What a clever child. There's a long whip inside the safe. The whip is long and completely unfrayed. It could make for a good rope. Let's take that. Papa won't be happy with this. Take the bullwhip as a rope. You took the bullwhip. The reason that even though you should brush after you wake up, this shouldn't count because it's not morning yet. Wait, but I was interacting with the scale. Huh, the scale and the brush have the same thing. Can I take the sink? If you manage to take this, it'd be impressive. The reason that even though you should... Okay, it's the same thing. Private potty can't be taken. Look inside the toilet. Sure? Well, you just wasted your time looking inside the toilet bowl. Gross. Even though the commode is kept very clean. Take. Even if you stood on the edge of the tub, you wouldn't be able to reach the curtain's hooks. Trying too hard at this would probably result in you cracking your head open on the side of the tub. Yeah, we don't need another alt end for that. You have no concept of what an ER is, so you'd be out of luck if that happened. The scenario of you pulling this off the table only for the hourglass to crush you to death would surely make for an interesting ending. Fortunately, or unfortunately, there's no way for you to make this even budge. You try to take the sheets off, but it seems attached to the mattress somehow. Maybe there never were actual sheets and the bare mattress just looks like this? I just wanted to show you what happens if you try to take these things because I forgot to earlier, so there you go. Oh, what if I try to take the trash can? I gotta check that. Well, you could take the plastic bag out of the trash can. You can't really think of a good reason to. Maybe if you can come across a sea turtle that needs to suffocate, you can come back for this. Can we take him? While Sniffles would be a brave and faithful companion on this quest, the rain isn't good for him. Can I take my lamp? The lamp may be a good light source while you're outside. The problem is that it needs to be plugged in if you want it to be more than dead weight. Speaking of lamps, can I take this? It's out of your reach because you are a child. Now's the time to watch movies. Oh, this is a new one. Hold on. The creation of the ram laser and alchemical egg. Yeah, there's different, like, drawers here. A collection of VHS tapes. Rosage's Guide to Sunman and Clip Clop and Friends Collection 1. Well, enough screwing around, alright? I have 4 pieces of rope, so let's do this. Let's see what happens this time. I promise it'll be more interesting than the previous ones. The rope has come to an end. The way down seems endless, but there seems to be another tunnel you can reach. Perhaps this is where the voice was coming from? You can see the lake outside. You are suspended high in the air looking down upon it. The weather is causing waves to crash violently against the rocky shores below. You can even see certain areas. Something about being flooded. And then, obviously, there was a flood. Your body is washed out of the drainage pipes into the lake. Before hitting the water, your face makes direct contact with the rocks below. Not even Papa would recognize you now. I can drown. Create a successful rope with only 4 materials. That's a funny name for that ending because the developer of this game also made another game called I Cannot Drown, which was made before this one and in the same universe. I might talk about that later. And I don't know about you, but I think Lily, her body looks kind of weird, right? I won't comment on that further, but that looked a little strange. Tip: there are 15 total rope materials that can be found, but not all of them should be collected and used. Oh, here's the 4 flowers. The rain is drowning the flowers. Take it. And the next piece of rope material that I will be using is actually not this. Psych, it's this. Here we go. The rope has come to an end. The way down seems endless, but a darkened window juts out from the side of the well's wall. It's slightly open. You swing closer to take a peek, but you overshoot it and tumble into the pitch-black room. It seems like you landed on something soft. You try to feel around to get a sense of your surroundings. Lily? Papa? Where? I thought... Shh, it's okay, Lily. You just had a bad dream. No, you went to work and there was a voice. A voice? What kind of voice? It came from the well. Oh, the well? I hope you didn't go near it. The voice sounded like she was in trouble. I wanted to save her. Now, Lily, even in a dream you need to remember what Papa tells you. But you weren't there. Lily, good girls listen to Papa even when he isn't there. Especially when you hear voices from outside. That's how bad little girls get kidnapped or eaten. Will you remember that, Lily? Yes, Papa. Will you? Will you remember it down to your soul? Yes, Papa. Good girl. Good night, Lily. Good night, Papa. Under Papa's watch, you quietly go to sleep. His words ring through your head as you lose consciousness. His words ring through your head as you lose consciousness. His words ring through your head as you lose consciousness. Smothering affection. Create a successful rope with only 5 materials. Rocks can be placed back in the same area where they're found if their speed penalty is too much. Cool. So based off of that ending, either A, Papa is evil, or that wasn't really Papa. That was like some weird clone. Those were my 2 thoughts when I got that ending. Let's go check on our friend in the forest. Hungry. Need more. Need more. The creature bites into you, ripping muscle from bone. I'm gonna wait for it to show like the full thing there before I advance through the dialogue because I don't want to go through it too quickly. Your screams are heard by nobody, but the creature finally feels full. Alt N3. Don't feed the wildlife. 4827A Prohibition. Tip. There's a small detail hidden outside that helps show which main endings have been found. Oh, speaking of that, I didn't show the 5 flowers. So yeah, you saw that thing, and am I crazy or did it have pink hair? I'll let you think about that. Anyway, 5 flowers over here. 5 flowers are growing here together. It looks like someone crushed the flowers at some point. But now I have a new thing to show you. A new outfit. Red Riding. Would you like to wear the Little Red Riding Hood costume? Yes. Oh, and I didn't select the info for this, did I? Info. The best thing to wear on a rainy night is a raincoat. And what's better than a normal raincoat? A frog raincoat. That's so true. And now let's check the info for this one. Well, I know I'm already wearing it, but I want to see the info for it, so I'll swap to this and then check the info for it. Little Red Riding Hood was told to stay on the path, but she instead strayed. While she got eaten by the wolf also died because of her actions. Don't feed the wildlife. And there's, you saw the portrait there. This is what it looks like. And that's what the profile thing there looks like. So, I will not be needing to open the pantry anymore, because we already been there, done that. The next piece of rope that we will be adding to our collection is this blue vine. If you remember, this blue thorned vine is the orderly's punishment, and it is rigid. The rope has come to an end, but there seems to be a large room here. What a strange room. I know you see that in the bottom right corner. Looks like a familiar outfit, doesn't it? You look closer at the unknown pile in the corner. Oh. It is a corpse covered in maggots. Do you know what maggots are, Lily? You've learned about them before. You also had a voice whispering to you about them before. They are baby flies that eat dead things. Oh? Now what? You no longer hear the sound of rain, but it is now pitch black. Someone must have covered the well. Well now, even though you can't see, you may want to get comfortable with the maggots. They may be your only company for a while. Itchy Tasty. Create a successful rope with only 6 materials. Six flowers are growing here together. All of the flowers are covered in bugs. It makes your skin itch. The next rope material we will be taking is the extension cord. Let's do it. The rope has come to an end. But, oh-ho, there's a vine growing along the well walls, but you don't see how deep it goes. Do you remember what this vine does? You manage to jump onto the vine, getting a good grip on it. It's the purple one. It seems to have a good grip on you, too. The purple leaves of the vine stick into you, wrapping you closer in the plant. It begins to suck out the blood from your body. You remember reading about this in that plant book. How unfortunate of you to discover the overcast vamp vine in here of all places. Wait, did you read that book? Or did another Lily read it? You are now too weak to scream. Too weak to keep your eyes open. Too weak to continue. Feed me, Lily, feed me. Create a successful rope with only 7 materials. So, I think one of the hints before said that, like, even though the outcome of the dead end, of some dead ends is the same, the actions you take before them may impact them a little bit. So, I read the book. And so that impacted the dialogue there. But I also did it as a previous playthrough. On a previous playthrough, I mean. And so I was like, did another Lily read that? If so, how does she remember reading it, right? I'll leave that for you to think about. Tip, whenever Lily dies, there's a chance for a new letter to appear in the mailbox and further playthroughs. Thank you for reminding me about that game. I forgot to look at that. Hold on, whoops. Let's check the flower. Oh, look, they're up there. Are they on the tree? 7 flowers bloom into one vine. Looking at this makes your blood go cold. Alright, let's check if we got any new letters. Oh, and I skipped that again. There are 2 letters. I already read the stained one, right? Yeah, I already read this. It's about the cars. Let's read the wax sealed letter. It's a letter with a red wax seal. Read it. Dear College of Azoth staff members, many of you are already aware of Project Nymph's progress at this point in time. While we all certainly share excitement with the start of the iterative learning process stage, many have additionally noticed the side effects created by the previous step. Our janitorial staff is working hard to push back the mercurial flooding and the capillum tendrils. In the meantime, it is recommended to use large objects as bridges if you or your students need to cross flooded areas. We are all very sorry for the trouble. President Wolfgang Eibler. The next piece of rope we'll be using is this chain. The chains lining the bridge could make for a good rope. Yes, they could. We're going to cut that and we're going to take it. Do not take Papa's underwear. Do not. Maybe I'll include that in the video. You know, that's extra dialogue that I didn't get previously. Really important. We have 8 pieces of rope. Let's see what happens. The rope has come to an end. Hope of discovery, however, is not lost. A vent presents itself nearby, with its cover partially removed. There's a fast-moving fan in the way, but you can see a room on the other side of it. And this is where you gotta use, like, the other item prompt. If you jam the shears in here, it will probably stop the fan. Do it? Yes. You jam the shears into the fan, breaking it. Before anything else can happen, you crawl past it. Oh dear. Look, it's a black bunny. Does that ring any bells? Dot dot dot. It feels like worms are wriggling under your skin. You've never seen this woman, but The portrait seems to represent someone you don't want to see. Now, there's something on my screen right now that you can't see, so I'm gonna try to get you to be able to see that. There you go. That's what it shows for me right now. Unauthorized scene call from ICannotDrown.exe detected. Now, I kind of wonder if I had I Cannot Drown on my computer, which I don't. I don't have that game installed. But I wonder if I had that game installed, what would happen. We're not going to find out. Maybe we will. Maybe I will try that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to hit OK. Error, unauthorized files creating game folder from outside source. Oh, that's not good. Deleting files, ume.kara, synchronicity.kara, fuku.kara. Debug call, activate rope ending 8. Noisy monster cage. Create a successful rope with 8 materials. Mother, find the painting. Okay, can I go back to full screen? Give me back to full screen. It's not in full screen anymore. I gotta fix that. Put me back in full screen. No, I can't believe I just did that. I'm such an idiot. Thank you. Alright, we're back in full screen. And I did get the achievement for the 8 rope ending, and I did get these flowers here, but I don't really want to click on these flowers, because that's going to tell you what happens in that ending normally. That is not what happens in the ending normally. That was a, like, Easter egg. So even though I already got that ending, technically, I'm going to do it the intended way, and see what happens then. Oh, also, I should probably address what just happened. You know, that there was a woman in that painting, and, you know, she's evil. Her name is Ume. That's why it said, like, deleting Ume dot, you know, Kara, you know, dot character, basically. And I think that code there, it's been a while since I've, like, you know, translated it, but I think she's kind of trying to, like, break out of the game or something like that, and then the game gets, you know, the game, you know, stops that from happening. The code's in base 64, I think. Because why else would there be, like, equal signs at the end of it? I know a thing or two about base 64. If you know, you know. Oh, also. Q.A. Lily. By becoming a magical girl, even ordinary humans can fight evil and save the day. Growing with new life, Q.A. Lily. Unlocked by finding the painting. Sure. So this is what she looks like with this outfit. She's happy. She has no clue of the horrors that reside within that evil painting. This time, we're going to go back in with 8 pieces of rope, and we're going to see what normally happens without that evil painting. Also, I apologize for not interacting with anything else in that room. I think I probably could have, like, went, like, to, like, the doorway, and it would have said, like, you can't leave, or something like that. I don't know if I could have interacted with, like, the text on the wall, or, like, whatever that was, so, my bad. I'm not going to do it again. You gotta play to find out if there's anything else there, I guess. Oh. Well, I certainly can't. yeah, you're gonna have to play it yourself, because, the fan is jammed by the hair. Hair? It's jammed by pink hair. Huh. Interesting. Did you know that was gonna happen? You fell through the vent, putting too much weight on one of the covers. I'm really surprised that there's a sprite of Lily there with the costume on. I thought it just kind of like would like go back to the default costume, but that's some cool attention to detail. The fall has broken your leg. The pain is immense. The sound of your fall has caused the residents of the room to awaken. There's some Resident Evil here. You can guess what happened. So by now, you can tell that there's some crazy stuff going on with this pink hair, and you know there's some stuff going on. You can tell, right? Let's go see what that flower description says. 8 flowers bloom together. It smells like rotting meat. So you know there was that creature in the forest with pink hair, and it was like, I need to eat or something like that. And then you find that room. Yeah, and then you know there's I think the 5 ropes ending where you find like a corpse with maggots. And, you know, before you inspect it, you can see, like, pixel art that kind of looks like Lily's outfit. And there's also, you know, the vine ending where it's like, was that another Lily who, you know, read about that vine? How do you know that? I'm not going to tell you what it all means, because I feel like I would be spoiling you, but I feel like you can figure it out, or at least part of it. There's still 2 letters, man. I'm getting bad luck. We're finally going to go back to this cave here to get this. The net seems to be pretty sturdy. Cut it and use it as a rope? Yes. And now we will leave. Build 9 pieces. Let's do it. The rope has come to an end, but you can see the bottom of the well. You can't see it very well, but you can see it. Maybe you should go back up and find something to get a little further. You're so close. You're so... Someone cut your rope. You try to stand, but your legs are broken. Standing out from the red covering your legs is the white of a bone breaching your skin. Ah! 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 Help me. Someone help. Please, my name is Lily. Your cries for help echo throughout the well. Please, it hurts. Papa, please. I'm sorry I was a bad girl. I'm sorry. I want to go home. Rock bottom. Create a successful rope with 9 materials. And if you didn't put it together yourself, that is the opening dialogue that Lily hears in the beginning. She hears a girl's voice from the well, and if you compare that dialogue with the dialogue at the beginning, it's the same thing, but the version that Lily hears at the beginning is, you know, muffled, and you don't get to see like the full thing. But she is hearing Lily's voice. Lily is hearing Lily's voice. Tip: all normal items in the stuff menu need to be found in order to get to the bottom of the well, except for one. Someone cut your rope. Skip the intro? Yes. That's interesting that told me someone cut my rope. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Let's see if we got any new mail. I really hope we did. I want to see all the letters. There are 2 letters. Bro! That's such terrible luck. What am I even good for? Oh, here's the 9 flowers. Let's look. The words you heard from the well echo in your mind. Finally, I am going to take this knife. It doesn't belong to you, but I'm taking it. I need it for something. Right here. There's a memorial for someone in a language you don't understand. Remember, there's a hole in this? Put the knife in there. You slowly stab the knife into the memorial. It's a perfect fit, but you lost the knife. The stone case is filled with a black liquid and long tangled hair. It's impossible to tell where the hair begins or ends inside. You don't know if the hair is moving on its own or if it's a trick of the rain. Take. You put your hand in the hair and pull at it. It seems to be attached to something. Then let's cut it. You might be able to cut this hair for a rope. Cut and take the oily hair for rope? Yes. As soon as you cut off some hair, the rest gets quickly sucked into the liquid below. You took the oily hair. You might be wondering, how the hell is oily hair a good rope? And, well, normally it wouldn't be, but this hair is supernatural, if you couldn't tell. Can you, think of who it may be from? Oh, also, I don't think I, read through the description of all these items, which isn't super important, but I'll do it anyway. Long hair covered in a sticky but oily liquid. It's strong. Okay, so, this item description tells you, gives you more indication that this is a good rope. Net, yarn, chain, extension cord, whip, belts, vine, beads, tire swing rope. Very interesting, I know. Okay, am I crazy, or is this 10 flowers right here? It says this is 9 flowers, but isn't this 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's odd. Anyway, I have 10 ropes. We're getting to the bottom of the well right now. Let's make the descent. The rope has come to an end. You did it. You made it to the bottom. Look at that. Oh dear. Nobody is here. The only company is bones, rotting meat, and maggots, and pink hair. Good thing you have experience with maggots. Oh dear again. Someone cut the rope. And I think because I got, rope ending 5 with the maggots, it's like, good thing you have experience with maggots. It's up to you to decide what to do. Because the rope got cut. Alright, look at this. Looks like Lily's outfit and her hair. We only have one place to go. This metal door sits between you and the only exit to the well. There's a dim light shining through the bars in the door. You could try to take the bars off the door, but you need something to help you. Bolt cutters. You'd probably be able to get through the door if you cut the bars. Cut them? Yes. You break through the bars and unlock the door from the other side. This is the door to the stairs. There is an out-of-order sign with the door additionally being locked. That is a fire hazard. Peeking through the reinforced window, you see the stairway. Some kind of sludge is covering all of the steps. A singular wet floor sign floats near the window. A variety of photos and notes litter the corkboard on the wall. The notes are connected to pictures via thread and push pins. They seem to detail the names, ages, and blood types of the people in the photos. Additionally, there seems to be extra notes detailing capture risk level for each person. You do not recognize any of the photos, but something about their faces makes your body shake. The door is locked. Can't interact with these cages. There's a man sleeping on the couch. The man has a light dusting of cheese powder on his fingers and beard. His name tag reads Freddy Fungus. There might be something in his pockets, but you don't want to risk waking him up. Just for reference, there's an elevator. The call button doesn't seem to work without some kind of card, so we need something. What about this? There's a key in the barred locker. The key is engraved with a number. It may be important. The bars are too thick for you to fit your hand between. Knitting needles. They're thin enough to get past the bars. Use them to pull in the key? Yes, you got the office key. There's an ID card on the desk. The ID card has a familiar face on it. Oh. Take the ID card. Took the ID card. Let's see whose face is on it. An ID card with the name Antonio Tabacci on it. That's her father. There's a computer here. An infinite maze is running on the screen as a screensaver. It's absolutely mesmerizing to watch. The computer is heavy. Too heavy and too many parts. The shelf is lined with binders and folders. You see GID project documentation, recorded nymph project documentation, and advanced cell growth photos among the files. Now we are on B6. No, we are not on B6. I just went all the way up. I mean, we were on B6. You know what I mean. We were not at the top red floor. Anyway, this is where we are. So, let's go up one floor. The metal plaque next to the door reads Memorial Room. You hear people talking about the door. Best not to get caught. There's a picture of a yellow circle on the wall. The little plaque is below the picture. It reads, "Gold represents absolute perfection and the ultimate goal of all alchemists." While some alchemists desire to literally create gold, many have their own personal gold that they pursue. Can you tell what Antonio's is? The metal plaque next to the door reads Archives. It's locked. Can't use it. The metal plaque next to the door reads Recycle Room. It's locked. And as you notice with, that other door too, it's locked and we can't use the ID card. Maybe there's someone else that has something we need. Well, not something we need. We can get through this ending without opening those doors, but I want to see what's in there. You don't have to do this. You can finish this ending without opening those rooms. You don't have to do this. But there's an achievement for it, and I need that achievement, so I'm sorry, Freddy. You plunge the shears into the man's neck. He tries to scream, but the only thing that comes out is blood and a horrible gurgling noise. They didn't pay him enough for you to do that. Kill Freddy Fungus in his sleep, monster. Going through the pockets, you find an ID card reading Master ID. Take it. Master ID card. Let's go up to that B5 floor and see if we can open that door. Now this one, there's people in there, so I understand that. Let's open it with the master ID. He only loves his own memory of you. The attic ladder is in the pantry. Oh, that reminds me, I need to do that. Hold on. Thank you, game, for giving me a hint towards that. There's something I didn't show y'all. This is what happens when you're an ungrateful brat. Kill yourself in front of him to see if he still has the capacity for emotion. And you can't interact with this exit door. Alright. Let's go up to yellow. The metal plaque next to the door reads, Scrapped Project Repository. Use the master ID to get in. This is a pushcart. It's probably here to move things in and out of the room when the wheels is busted. The box is filled with new glass bottles. There's a glass case with a heart inside. It beats ever slowly. Various dusty bottles line the shelves. Tendrils hanging off the top of the tank like a butterfly's chrysalis. This box is filled with new glass bottles. That is a shelf, but... okay. New glass bottles, okay. More hair is growing out of the vent. ... That's the room that Lily fell into, in that one ending. There's a picture of a red arrow on the wall. A little plaque is below the picture. It reads, Brimstone/sulfur represents heat, dryness in the human soul. In certain religions, it is stated that hell smells of sulfur. Alchemic research has dictated that this may be due to the amount of probable souls residing in hell's fires. The metal plaque next to the door reads, Recycle Room. Use the master ID to get in? Yes. Oh gosh. Leech. Someone is tangled in the hair. The various rules on what can and can't be recycled are blocked by the hair. Can't interact with that. The metal plaque next to the door reads Incinerator. It's just an incinerator. I can't interact with it at all. Maybe I could burn something, but why would I do that? I don't have anything worth burning. There's nothing here I really want to burn. Hey, what? I'm missing a letter there, but whatever. Anyway, that was that. Let's go to pink. A large window peers out. It's the inside of the well. The floor is covered in wet hair. Deeper down the hall is a thick liquid. It's the same as in the garden. There's a picture of a red triangle on the wall. A little plaque is below the picture. It reads, Fire is love, rage, passion, and hatred all in one form. These are all key factors in a human soul, not just masculine ones. There's a picture of a green triangle on the wall. A little plaque is below the picture. It reads, Earth is touch, movement, and physicality of the body. A soul must connect to these things in a body in order to claim it as its own. The bright sign reads, In use, next to the door. Best to stay hidden for now. There's a picture of a blue triangle. Water is blood, mercury, and the origin of life. In order for a body to operate life and soul, it must contain water. Air is both heat and wet, blood and soul. Souls move like air when not contained within a body. In use? Okay. The metal plaque next to the door reads Nymph Project Body Test Room. Let's enter. Oh wow. You remember this room? It looks like your bear. Guess isn't Sniffles. It smells like bathroom cleaner and is filled with sand. Lamp. There's no bulb. The ball of yarn is here. It isn't yarn. Not again. Looks just like your wardrobe. It's completely filled with oily hair. This should have been the door to the bathroom. It's just more wallpaper behind the door. Let's go to V1 now. I wish it could have been color-coded. So obviously, as you can tell by now, she is Project Nymph, right? She has to be. There's a picture of a green arrow on the wall. Phosphorus is a special element with the ability to capture light itself. Because of its features, it can be used as a base for a new soul. The metal plaque reads Dark Room. Let's get in. Oh, why was it automatically on no? Expensive looking cameras are sitting on this counter. Looks like some kind of expensive equipment. Everything smells like chemicals. Barrel storage. It smells like the bottom of the well. Surgical lab. Surgery is in progress, so we're not going to go in there. Finally, the top floor. Yeah, even Freddy's having trouble with it. I heard they're gonna start passing it off onto the work-study students. I sure fucking hope not. Nicole's been doing cleaning stuff for the Mercurial building. If they try to make her try to clean up that Azoth shit, I'm going to student resources myself. Just let her do her own thing, man. Hey, I recognize that gray guy. He's the one who cut the rope. Oh shit. Is that? Hey, Whoa, is your name Lily? Papa said not to talk to strangers. But there's Bones, and... You think she saw the pit, man? Derek, shut the fuck up. Your dad. Is he Professor Tabachi? Do you know Papa? Yeah. He should be in the lab. Follow me, kiddo. I'll take you to him. Dude, what about our project? This will be like 5 minutes. Relax. I can't interact with anything, by the way. Oh, wow. What is that on his head? Pa? 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 And it's gone when he walks past it. Lily? Papa? Oh, Lily, what happened to you? You're all wet. Were you out in the rain? There was a voice, and You heard the well voice again? No, I didn't find anyone when I got to the bottom. I found an elevator, and... This is the first time I think you've made it down here. What? Take a look at this, Lily. Take a look. Good girl. Papa? What is... Your next iteration, Lily? It took years, but I finally managed to recreate your body. I'm sorry I couldn't get your hair color right, but that's just the price of working with Azoth. The only difference that needs fixed is your soul. You can't help it being underdeveloped. You always promise to be a good girl, but you always end up breaking my rules one way or another. The first iteration I made fell down the well. It saw me throw a delivery down there and thought it was someone who needed help. The stupid thing didn't even figure out the body was already dead. Didn't even listen to Papa's rule of not going outside alone at night. I tried doing what you did. Made a little rope. The rope snapped, but the iteration didn't die at first. As I screamed for help, I realized something. If you act out as a bad girl, you can die and have your soul. put into another iteration with a clean slate. Your brain doesn't remember doing anything bad, but your soul will eventually remember that only bad things come from being a bad girl. One day, this will make you the most perfect Lily without any of the actual trauma in your brain. I'm sorry for my slow reading of this. It's hard for me to read the blue text against the black background. My assistants and I recorded the first one's screams and decided to begin the experiment. I, of course, had to wonder, how many times will Lily die before she realizes that nothing good comes from disobeying Papa? We call it Generation Iteration Development, GID. Each new generation of Lily becomes smarter and smarter. We have enough meat, so we can keep developing more bodies. I thought someone needed help. Here you are again. You think a voice coming from outside is more important than Papa. Papa? Let's see if this is what it takes for you to put your fingers in your ears and just wait for Papa to come home. Wait, Papa, I'm sorry. Still, I gotta say Papa's proud of you for getting all the way down here. Tell you what, you can be my little apprentice again when you finally learn, okay? Next iteration. Make it to the bottom of the well. Tip, you will know if you've gotten the true ending when the credits start to roll. So yeah, that was pretty fucked up. You know, it's a pretty big betrayal for, you know, her only family member. I mean, she has an aunt, technically. I don't know if they're actually related, but, you know, she has Aunt Mifuyu and, you know, maybe some other people she's met, but, like, her, you know, core family is just her father, and that's the type of person he is, which is pretty messed up. Oh, and now I can finally point out to you, you've probably noticed by now, but obviously there's this V marker here. It started out at like V5 or something like that. Now it's at V20. That's the version of Lily. Now, I got all 10 endings. I got all 10 digits to the phone number. I could call that phone number, but I'm not going to do that. Not yet. And I want to see if I got any new mail. Please tell me I got mail. There are 3 letters in the mailbox. Finally, I got the 3rd letter. There's a 4th one I need too, and I might have to, you know, die some extra times for that, which is going to suck. But let's read the fancy letter. It's a letter with a fancy envelope. Read it. Hello, Antonio. How is everything with your little Lily? It feels like it's been so long since she was first born. I will never forget how nervous you were during the labor to the point you cried. I'd never seen you cry before then. You held her and called it the most important day of your life. I nearly cried myself. I know it's been a while, so I have been curious how she's doing in that cabin of yours. With you working yourself half to death, it should be fine for me to watch her for a night or two, right? I'm sure you could use the pressure off your shoulders, haha. I'll come as soon as you call, alright? Mags. Now there are some things I want to do, but if you remember, in that ending, it said something like the ladder to the attic is in the pantry. We're gonna open up the pantry again. But also, I gotta... Look at these, 10 flowers here. A bush with 10 flowers are growing here. Looking at this causes a sharp pain to go through your head. I wonder why. Here we are. Alright, are you seeing that? Ah, you are. Look at that. You seeing that on the screen. I just checked. Oh, yes, you are seeing that notification on screen. Tony, I can't do this anymore. She's been telling you things that would have made you sick a year ago. I thought things would be different now that she's dead. But you've just gotten worse. She isn't your mother or God. How many people did you kill to try and recreate her body? Oh God. Get the fuck away from me, Tony. I am taking Lily and leaving. Let go of me. Stop. Stop. Lots of stops. Ma, are you up here? Ma, remember her. Do you need help with the... Huh? Fatal error. Unauthorized scene call. No, I want to remember. Something like that. I can't remember what that said actually. And now the game has essentially crashed. And I believe I need to close the game at this point. So I'll do some explaining there. Basically, that was Antonio's wife, Lily's mother, and he killed her. Like, she's saying, like, get off me. He killed her and made it look like a suicide. And I believe you can actually see the noose there that he used. And so she was saying, like, I'm taking Lily and leaving. Lily finds the mother's body. But is it this Lily? It looked like an older Lily, and she had different hair. Tony was talking about how, I couldn't recreate your hair exactly, so this is a clone, right? Or not a clone, but like, I don't know. I don't know what you'd call it. You know, she's like Lily, but like, a different hair color and, some slight differences. I'll actually go back in here because there's no music, so I can talk clearer. But, that shrine or whatever in the garden area where it has a language that you can't understand, I think it says Mother Ume. Ume, of course, is the woman in that painting. She's been dead for a long time, but Tony is dedicated to like trying to bring her back. He's like, her servant. She's kind of like a god to him. And I'll throw in some extra information. Ume is the main character of I Cannot Drown. She is essentially like an immortal witch who becomes immortal by like eating mermaid meat because that's like a I don't know. It's like some folklore thing. But yeah, she's kind of like a god to this cult that Tony is in. I am actually going to do that same ending again, though. Not the mother ending, or not the Ma ending, as it's called. Where you go to the attic. But I am going to do the 10 ropes ending again because I want to show you what it's like when you do it a second time because it is a little different, slightly. Oh, I didn't show this. Nothing but the foul-smelling liquid remains. The raindrops fall into the stone memorial, but don't mix into the liquid. Instead, the raindrops sit on top of the liquid as if it were a solid. Water and oil don't mix. Also, I know I already, did the thing with the monster, but I want to take some jerky. Why might I do that? Because if you do, there's a cat here. There's a cat here. She doesn't seem to mind the rain. Give her your piece of jerky? Yes. The cat grabs it out of your hand and eats it, making loud noises the entire time. Once she's finished, she looks up at you. Meow. The cat makes her way to your lap and sits in it. You are instantly calmed by the sounds of her purrs and the sound of the rain. She's a good cat, a really good cat. Her name is Cassie. She was named after the constellation Cassiopeia. Even if you're a stranger, she'll approach you and give you affection. Thank you for giving her your time. You just click on her to see the picture there, whenever you want. Oh, and the bars have already been cut. How cool is that? Blood on the couch. The couch has a red stain on it. It looks like someone tried to scrub out the stain before giving up. They clearly didn't try the aspirin or lemon juice method. As impressive as it would be to take the couch, you can't. Oh wait, did you want to check in the cushions are underneath it? Well, there's an ID card here. Take it. You have the master ID cards. Looking at this couch makes you tremble for some reason. Yeah. Because we killed someone. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all this stuff again. I would hope that nothing has changed. Because I don't want to look through all that again. We're just going to go straight to the top floor. Papa? You're back. Let's try again, Lily. I didn't even read what she said. Or he. I don't know. I don't know who was talking, actually. Unlearned lesson. Return to Papa after he had already killed Lily once before. Tip: if a bad rope material is picked up, it will automatically be used when descending the well. Papa? Okay, that's just the glitch where it shows that stuff. No! Oh my god. Anyway, that gives us a new outfit. Rose. Fitting with their beauty, roses can be difficult to grow, just like how difficult it is to get Lily to grow. Unlocked by talking to Papa at the bottom twice. This is the pixel art. And there's Lily, she has her eyes closed. Please tell me I got a letter. Please tell me I got a letter. Oh my god. There's another ending I want to show you now. I have collected every piece of rope. And it goes up only to 14 because the yarn is in two forms. The yarn is both knitted. The yarn can be knitted or unknitted. I decided to knit it, but I don't think it really matters. So that's all the rope. So what happens if you throw all the rope away? So let's... Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Well, now I gotta go back and discard all the other... I had to discard all the other things and then go back for the tire swing rope. Whoops. Last one. Dot, dot, dot. You sure threw out a lot of things. Why are you gathering all this stuff again? Oh well, there's still room in the can. Dude? Something weird's happening. What's up? Oh. She's literally putting everything in the trash. Like, there shouldn't be that much room, right? Let me check the notes. Did this happen before? I seriously can't figure out why she's doing this. Hold on. Okay, it looks like she threw out literally everything she could use as a rope. But now she's associating putting rope in the trash like putting rope in the well. Okay, but why the plunger and all that other crap? I think she's just stuck in a loop since there's no goal now? Huh. Does this mean this run was a success? Nah, she still got dressed and left the house. Yeah, I guess. Also, she's kind of like a reverse hoarder. Oh shit, she got the weed whacker. She what? Professor! I'm going to fix it myself. It doesn't need to be thrown out. I can fix it. The one covered in rust? Not now, Gunther. It's time to activate the loop breaker. Soft lock prevention. Oh, that's what that button is? I'm not going to let you throw out perfectly good equipment, you piece of shit. Hey, what the fuck was that stupid idiot end? And I saved that for later because I think if you get this ending before like the big reveal in the 10 ropes ending, you don't see that cutscene with the students there. I haven't checked that, but that's just what I've heard. Now I have gotten all the endings except for the last one, which is calling this phone number after getting all the digits. But I might have to put Lily through more pain if I don't have the final letter here. There's 3 letters. Only 3. That sucks. There's a chance to get a letter after you die, and I have not gotten the 4th letter. So I need to kill Lily again and keep going until I get this letter. That sucks. I'm really sorry, Lily, but, you know, what can I do? What can I do? Finally, I got it. I got it. Messy letter. It's a letter with terrible handwriting. Read it? Hey, I wanted to check in on you. You don't pick up when I call you, but I guess it's just safe to assume you're teaching all the time now. I know it's probably lonely without me there, but I still don't have any plans to come back. I won't go down the same path as you. If you cared though, I have a boyfriend now. His name's Jeremy. We're both living in an apartment under his mom's house. I told him all about you and, well, he says that he'd rip you limb from limb if he ever met you. So, yeah. It'd be cool if you called me on my new cell phone number, but you'd definitely die if you tried to find me. Can you guess who that's from? Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. We're now on Lily V25. I had to die a few more times to get that letter. But now, we're going to call this number after we are supposed to know it, by getting all those 10 endings. Eight, 2, 4, 2, 6, 2, 3, 1, 3. The call went through. Hello? Who is this? Hello? My name is Lily. I'm home alone and I'm scared. Wait, what? Did you say Lily? How did you get this number? It's, it's my new cell phone number, I think. But I don't have a cell phone and I don't know why I think I do. I feel like I remember a lot of things that didn't happen to me, but did happen to me, and shh, it's okay, Lily. Everything's going to be okay. You live in a house with a well by it, right? It's right outside your window? Yeah? Oh, thank God he didn't move. Okay, Lily. I need you to wait in the living room for me and put a certain VHS tape in the TV. Can you do that for me? What movie tape? Clip Clop and Friends Collection Part 1. It's your favorite, right? Yeah, it's in the middle shelf, I think. Good. It's going to take me a bit to get home, so you can keep putting in more movies if Clip Clop ends, okay? Okay. Just don't fall asleep and keep the door unlocked. Everything is going to be okay. Can I keep talking to you? I shouldn't talk and drive. Fuck it. Sure thing. What things are you remembering, Lily? Falling down the well? My bones hurting? Sometimes it goes dark when I fall, but sometimes I wake up. I know I woke up to hearing someone yelling from the well. But why do I remember also yelling? Shit. Papa. Papa! What? Is he there? Papa put a pillow on my face until I couldn't breathe. And one time he took out a gun and... Oh my God. He's not going to hurt you anymore. I'm going to make sure of that. Heck. When I heard you pick up, I think I remembered a lot more stuff. Damn. I'm still remembering a lot, and I don't want to be alone. You won't be soon. What's your name? I don't know the easy way to answer that. Did I really die? Unless I'm talking to a ghost, I think you're alive. Papa, in one of the memories, Papa said something about me learning something. Generation International Development? What? Oh, Generation Iteration Development. Yeah. Are you Papa's real Lily? Yeah. God, how many times did he put you through this? Lily version 25. I'm sorry. You don't have to count or anything like that. 25. I did this 25 times. I'm sorry for making you drive. No, I think your soul remembered my number because you wanted help. Even if you weren't thinking about it, you called me for a reason, right? What's going to happen? Well, I don't have a solid plan, but getting you out of there is the main goal. I left a note for my boyfriend's mom explaining the situation. She's pretty good at reading my scribbles, so it should be fine. Oh, there's a pretty good 24/7 diner we can check out after I pick you up. A diner? Yeah, they have killer chocolate chip pancakes. They also put whipped cream on top of their chocolate milk. Plus, rainbow sprinkles. You can also sleep in the car if you want. You're probably tired. Can we get the pancakes? Yeah! You spend the hours talking with a stranger you know so well. You feel like you've never felt this level of comfort in your life, and it's possible that might be true. Okay, can you open the door, Lily? Mm-hmm. You slowly open the door. Hey there, kiddo. Sorry to keep you waiting. Your hair has a lot of colors. Haha, it does. I dyed it myself. Okay, my friend Burger Man helped, but I did a lot of the work too. Burger Man? He's one of my buddies. Everyone's gonna be really psyched to see you. They don't know I came here yet, but it'll probably be fine. What's going to happen to Papa? He's going to get in trouble for what he did to you. I think his work is helping him. Of course they are. But, I should probably ask you this. Are you okay with leaving? I can help you grab your stuff. I want pancakes. Alright, kiddo. Let's pack up and grab those cakes. The two of you pack up various things from the house, using the sheets as bundles. The woman you were meant to replicate managed to take all of the VHS tapes off the shelf in one grab. The tapes all fell out of her arms when she tried to pack them up, though. Soon you were left in the back seat of her car. Just gotta finish up one thing, okay? The longer you were left in the car, the longer the pit of anxiety in your stomach grew. It's her van. It's pretty roomy in there, even with the things you packed up. The back kind of smells like a skunk, though. Marijuana. It's time to escape this cycle. Check the mailbox. There's 4 letters. I'm not reading any of them. Something smells bad. What are you pouring? Hey, I thought I told you to wait in the van. It smells like the stove. Look, you're not going to like seeing this. Go back to the van. Is this Papa's punishment? Can I help? Sure, kiddo. You deserve it as much as me. You pour the kerosene all over the base of the house. Both of you drench the garden, giving its residents one last drink. Finally, you send some down for Papa to deal with. Once we throw the lighter, there's no going back. No going back. I soaked the Azoth hair in the garden with the tanks from the shed. If the alchemists still have it growing around the campus, it should light it up like a fireball. Bye, Papa. Rest in piss, Papa. Despite the rain, the house bursts into violent flames. There is no more house to wake up in. The heat is intense even from a distance. And yet, it's okay to still love him. I still don't know why he hurt me. No matter what, he said I was a bad girl. She pulls you in close. Adults don't hurt kids. A very, very, very true statement. And by that I mean, like, you can legally be in it. Like, there are people who are legally adults and hurt kids, but I refuse to believe anyone who has a real adult brain would hurt kids. Lily, you didn't deserve anything he did to you. Just because someone's your papa, it doesn't mean they're right. You feel tears that don't belong to you begin to fall. The hug tightens on both ends. Lily needed this hug for a long time. And notice how it doesn't specify which, because they both needed it. Break the cycle. And here are the credits. The end. Oh, well, hold on a second. That's not what I wanted. Wanted to, Would you like to completely start from scratch or continue from the night where it ended? Costumes will carry over. Let's continue. Skip the intro. Now that is where the game ends, canonically. I just came back here because it does unlock a new outfit. See? Pajamas. Info. I see you came back. Now don't worry, this doesn't mean that you're suddenly robbing Lily of her happy ending. That is still how the story ends. Your involvement does not change that. Right. You selected this option for information on Lily's pajamas. Some of you might think that this costume could let Lily just go back to bed. It won't. It is purely cosmetic, like the rest of the costumes. I can tell you that the possibility of Lily just ignoring a cry for help just doesn't exist. Some people have that kindness taken from them, but both of them will hold on to it forever. unlocked by getting the true ending. This is what it looks like. So yeah, the cycle is broken. Lily doesn't have to die anymore. And I'm gonna go back to the title. And I will record my thoughts on this later, because it's late at night, and I want to give a good statement of how I feel about this game. So, I'll tell you that later. Hey everyone, it's me, and funny enough, I am recording this on a different day, but it is still very late at night, so this will probably be pretty short, actually. So, sorry for hyping this up like I had to wait to record this conclusion, this heavily scripted conclusion. It's not heavily scripted. I did write some notes, though, and I'll just say, like, firstly, I didn't show all the dialogue in this game. Like, I didn't check the status on a lot of things. This was by no means a full, comprehensive playthrough of every single dialogue option, although it was a full achievement playthrough, so there's that. Overall, the ending of this game is about the desire to save the younger you from things that was not their fault. It's the fault of course, in this case, the narcissist, Antonio Tabachi, and it's pathetic for him to act that way. And in my opinion, he deserved the fate that he got. When I first played this, I'll say this was a very impactful game. It had a very impactful ending for me. The music was perfect. Even the title screen, the music is perfect. It doesn't hurt my ears to listen to this. I can listen to this and it's fine. The ending music, especially in the true ending, fit very well. And like I said, that ending, you know, I don't know if I've ever cried to a video game, but like, I don't know if crying is really a good measure of how a game makes you feel, but like, this game made me feel something. And that's not something to, you know, be said lightly, I think. I guess you could say Lily is well now, because, you know, she got saved. Regarding Lily's future, there is a video on YouTube by the developer of this game called Lily's Birthday, a Lily's Well After Story. It takes place after this game, and I watched it immediately after I played through this, and it was great. I think it added a lot. Very emotionally touching. There is a comment on that video that I think describes the ending of this game and why it's so important much better than I ever could. I'm not going to read what it says, I'm just going to put it on screen. You can pause it to read it, but it does a really amazing job of talking about this game and why the ending was so important. Because if I remember what the comment said, realistically, you know that there's not going to be a happy ending to a situation like this. You know there's no escape for her. But this game decides to have a good ending. This game decides to have hope. And it's a really important choice. And it's what makes this game legendary, in my opinion. I don't know if legendary is the right word, because that makes it sound like, I don't know, but it's just really, really good. Another word I'm thinking of is iconic. I feel like I'm searching for a different word, but yeah, this is one of the best, like, short indie games I've ever played. I say short, you know, it's a decent amount of time. It took me like 4 hours to record this. Yeah, it's an amazing game. I felt obligated to share it with you. So yeah, goodbye.